Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet Pea Acres. Melissa here. So this is going to be our second video. I fully intended to make this a lot sooner. Life got in the way and I ended up being able to go on a last minute trip with my younger kids. We had a lot of fun and now we're back. So got a little behind in the garden. And also I didn't realize how hard it is to think about picking up the camera. Yeah, so I'm just not really good about thinking about it. I just kind of get up and get going. So something I have to work on, but I want to show you what I started yesterday. So my goal right now is to pull up the weed fabric, get all the weeds out of an area, and then I'm mulching the rows. So the weed fabric was never intended to be a long-term solution. It was more or less to help my brain because I think I had mentioned in the last video that we have been dealing with an invasive weed, and as soon as I can pull it, I've tried all the things actually, pulling it, weed whacking it, burning it, using vinegar. It comes back with like a vengeance so fast. And I was spending a lot of time trying to eradicate it and not enough time actually doing the parts that I enjoy, which is like the actual gardening part. So pulling up the weed fabric this year for fall season, and I'm heavily mulching. I had a lot of deliveries via chip drop for mulch and we have a ton. So my hope is that I can start getting all of these rows mulched, and then I can go back over and remulch, and I may end up using the weed fabric on top of the mulch. I haven't really decided what I want to do there. So I'm not pulling it fully out. I've just kind of rolled it up to the start where I can access it easily if I decide I need to use it. So let me show you what we've done, well, what I've done so far. It's just been me. And then what my plan is for the rest of this week. Okay, so hopefully this comes out okay on video. So you can see I had a walkway here, a walkway here, and then here's the weed fabric that I've rolled up, and so just heavily mulched. Now, I did mulch all these pepper plants too. They're not as heavily mulched as the aisle walkways are, but I wanted to put something in because while I was gone, the garden didn't get watered at all, and they were looking really bad. They have perked up a lot, but I need to retain the moisture in the soil. Here in Central Texas, we are incredibly hot and dry usually. We are supposed to be getting some rain right now. However, we have not gotten nearly as much as any of the places around us. So the garden actually is still pretty dry. I did use this sprinkler yesterday, and I will again today, just because I don't know that we're gonna get the rain that they're calling for. One of the things I want to mention is that I have been coming out and trimming some of these that are taller. And then I fertilized yesterday with fish emulsion, and then today on top of this mulch I'm going to be layering a organic slow release fertilizer, and I'll show you what it is when I go get it. I've never used it before, so I don't have any recommendations on it yet. I'll have to let you know. But my goal here is to get these plants healthy and keep them alive through summer. And they will put out a lot of fruit as the temperatures start cooling a little bit. Pepper plants don't mind heat, but I think that they just do better when the temperatures aren't in the hundreds. So we'll see. You can see I already have some blooms coming on, so that's good news. They're actually looking a lot better than when I got back. All right. Hey friends, okay, welcome back. So it's a few hours later. It's almost 11 o'clock, and I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I actually think we might be getting some of that rain. The storm clouds are looking pretty good. I was able to finish off the third row, so got the weeds out, pulled the weed fabric up, and fully mulched it. I also went ahead and fertilized all the plants like I said I would with the slow release fertilizer. It is organic. I'm going to show you what it is in just a minute. I didn't realize when I purchased it that it is an HEB product. So HEB is our local grocery store. If you're not local to Central Texas, I don't know that you'll be able to find it. So I'm sorry about that. I wasn't thinking that they even had a fertilizer. Okay, so let me turn you around so I can show you what I got done. Okay, so I realize it doesn't look a whole lot different, but if you remember, this whole row right here had the weed fabric down. It does take quite a bit of time to get the weeds out, pull the weed fabric up. I have to shake all of the dirt that's fallen onto it off and get all of the weeds that are starting to grow on top of it, because I am rolling it up to use at a later date. Most of it is still usable and in good condition, so I don't want to just throw it away. But I'm actually pretty happy with the progress. Not too bad for a one-man show over here. Yeah, so my goal tomorrow will be to then work on this row right here. I'm thinking maybe I could ask my daughter to come out and help me, because ideally I would love to get this row and this row. So we'll see. I try not to make them do any of the garden stuff anymore. They are older, and I don't want them to hate it. But sometimes she's willing to come out and help me. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I can already tell that the plants that are still alive out here are looking a lot happier. And I want to show you this little poblano plant. This thing is doing amazing. Look at, there are still peppers growing on it. It's putting out more. I don't know if you can see, but look at, there's lots of little buds coming. So I think we're gonna get a good poblano pepper harvest. I love poblanos. I love them plain. I love them with chicken. I love them all the ways. So, all right, I will see y'all soon. Okay, I forgot that I wanted to show you the fertilizer. So this is an all-purpose fertilizer. It's a 323. It says derived from pasteurized poultry manure. I do want to say this. It is very smelly. It smells horrendous. So just think about that if you're going to put it in your car. I did put it in my car. I didn't even think about how it smelled until my daughter and I were driving away and realized that it did not smell good in the car. So we drove home with the windows down, and then I got home, I got it out and left all the windows in the back open for several hours. So if you can avoid putting it in a car, I would recommend that. Yeah. So here's Texas HEB Backyards Organics. Yeah, I'm happy to try it out. Okay, I almost made it back to the house and the rain has made it here, so super excited to have some rain. And now I'm gonna go in the house and get started on some seeds, and I'll see y'all soon. Hey guys, so I'm out in the grow room. I'm gonna be starting some seeds. This little room is kind of newer to me. It is a room off of our garage. It was meant for storage, and while we store some things in here, my husband mostly cleared it out so that I could have a place to start all of my seeds. I think he got tired of seeing them spread out all over the house and then sometimes in the garage where we have our gym. So I want to talk about what I'm starting. Here in Central Texas, we can still grow several things. So we can do another harvest of some summer crops, but I'm also thinking about our fall garden and what I want to be growing for fall specifically. Summer is a bit hard here. We get super hot, we get really humid. The bug pressure is intense. A lot of plants get blight or powdery mildew. They just have a harder time in the summer. So the things that I've planted, again, in hopes to get a second harvest of, are things like Kajari melon. I think I did another round of watermelon. I did this smaller variety, so the sugar babies, they don't take nearly as long to grow, and so that is something I am keeping in mind when I'm picking things to grow. I have to think about when our first frost is, and it's usually about mid-November. And I know that I need to have some of these things done producing by that time. Okay, I do have a tripod, but I need to find it. I just went to go look because my arm is burning holding this phone up and I couldn't find it. So it is what it is. All right, so I also started some winter squash. I started some butternut squash. Let's see, some zucchini, some crookneck squash. Now, these are things that I know I will be able to get more of before our first frost. And then, I have some more that I haven't started yet that I'm going to be working on. I've never grown this before. So this is a golden Hubbard squash. I think it just looks pretty fun. If you are on the hunt for seeds, you should definitely check out M.I. Gardener. He has a lot of, I should say it's family owned now. They have a lot of great seeds that are not that expensive, very affordable. Let's see, I got some Turk's Turban gourds. These again will just be kind of for fun, to be a little festive. Let's see, some blue Hubbard squash, lots of squash. And the reason that I'm starting it now and I'm starting it indoors and not direct sowing it is because I'm trying to avoid the squash vine borer or the squash bugs. I don't have a lot of them out in the garden that I can tell, but I don't want them either. And then I have a Halloween blend of pumpkin. Now these are showing about 110 days. I think I can get them to where they're producing. I'm not necessarily caring actually if any of these produce for Halloween necessarily. I like them actually more for Thanksgiving. I think it's super fun to decorate for fall. I love decorating for Halloween and Thanksgiving, but I always tend to do more of like a fall theme rather than a Halloween theme. Let's see. So some other vegetables I'm getting going today are some cabbage. This one happens to be a late flat Dutch. I don't know how I pick this one. I think I sometimes just get in there and I'm like, oh, this sounds fun. Let me order some of this. Then I had a leftover packet of this all seasons cabbage. Now I know I've grown this before. I don't remember anything about it. So I'm gonna grow it again and I'll try to pay attention this time. I'm gonna do another round of some Roma tomatoes. Yes, my hands are dirty because I was out in the garden all day today. All right, so some Romas. And then let me show you what I've got growing already. Okay, so we do have some little starts going on. These are the Perrone tomatoes. There is a channel on YouTube that I watch. I think it's North Texas Gardening, Vegetables, Canning, a little bit of everything is the name of the channel. And she talks quite a bit about growing the Perrone variety for our area. Now she is a little bit more north from me, but I'm gonna give them a try. I found them off of Etsy and yeah, I've never grown them. So these guys are already going. They do look a little bit leggy, so I may end up having to repot them at a later date. And you can actually plant tomatoes higher up on the stem and they will put out more roots. So I'm not super worried about the fact that they're looking a little long right now. Up here is where I have the tomatillos that I already started the other day. Some of the Kajari melons. Again, you know, I just didn't get out here and lower the lights fast enough, but I think it'll be all right. And then these guys are the buttercup squashes and they're looking good. I do have a flat down here of Walla Walla onions. I've never grown onion from seed. Yeah, I always buy the starts, but they are coming up. So my plan is that I grew them in this flat and I'm just gonna let them grow and then I'll separate them out when it's time to plant them in the ground. my experience is that onions are pretty hardy. They don't mind having their roots messed with, and they transplant pretty well. Okay, I don't know why, but I am super excited to try this one. It's a long pie pumpkin. I don't know, like the picture just looks really cool. So weird little thing for me. Yep, and so this whole thing is all these long pie pumpkins, and they are just now starting to come up, looking great. Now this one is butternut squash, and I don't see anything coming up yet. So we'll give it a few more days, see how that goes. Now these are starts that I actually purchased from Azure Standard. Every few months I do an order for food, and they, in the spring, have garden starts, and I've found that their starts are really pretty. They have things that I have never grown before or that I can't find locally. So this is some red asparagus. Yeah, I've never grown that. This was a mixed pack of basil, and I don't know why I ordered it. I think I just wanted to grow it for fun. I usually grow basil from seed. Now, all of this stuff needs to be transplanted. I'm gonna do that today, or up potted, not transplanted, I'm sorry. This is Long Island Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts take a really long time. These did arrive looking much better. I've just been lazy about getting them up potted, so I'll do that. And then back here is some comfrey. So yeah, I'm super excited to get those going. So as you can see, I'm wearing different clothes because it's a few days later and I completely forgot to end this video, but I want to put it up. So I want to let you know that I'm probably going to just do a video dedicated to what I've started and what I'm going to be starting in the month of July. So if you're interested in that, you know, make sure you stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button so that I can work on growing this channel. All right, see y'all soon.